Okay, well, I think it's important to give you some general material on marketing and so that you understand it. They may not all be relevant to your situation, but if this were a marketing class, this is what we would be covering. We'd be covering the 7 steps of a marketing process. Step 1, understand the market, the wants and the needs and the interests. Really understand the consumer, whether it's using focus groups or surveys or conversations or feedback, monitoring sales at different times, at different places, really understanding that consumer and the different segments in that market are important. Number 2 is, after one understands step 2, after one understands the consumers in the market, one has to then carefully segment those segments of the market that are most beneficial to you. And there may be geographic. Oh, let's focus on Karachi, or no, let's focus on high-income consumers, or let's focus on the base of the pyramid. But when you target, especially an underserved market, or a market that you think you have some distinctive characteristics to be able to serve, then you really hone in on that subsegment of the market. And we'll see some tools on segmentation later. Step 3. Then really describe these segments based on their individual needs. And it's not just demographics, but it's not just how old, what gender it is. What are their what are their values? What are they thinking that they want? What are their psychographics? It means, what are the kinds of things that this particular market segment is looking for? Step 4, create a product or service, or tweak your product or service to meet that specific need. In the case of honey, you're already starting with consumers that you know, but if you can do some additional research, one could find, well, are there other ways in which we could please that consumer? Would they like honey mixed into other kinds of snacks? Is it possible would they really like to have little small packets that are closed that they could take with them to work and put in their tea, their own favorite honey? Are there gift packs? What is it about? So let's not think that just because we have a jar of honey that we know that we have a final product. There may be other products we can make out of our basic product. Step 5, then communicate the value of this product or service that we're offering to the customer in a way that makes sense. And there we have to understand that we have to have consistency. If we're going for high-end consumers, we have to use the media that high-end consumers use. If we're going after a mass market, then we have to use the media that the mass market pays attention to. So all of these things have to be consistent. Step 6, we have to deliver the product or service to the targeted customer in a way convenient to that customer. So timing, place, the means of delivery, all of those things have to be consistent. And then the 7th feedback, often ignored, and that is to solicit feedback from the customer about how the product or service could be improved to meet the customer's needs. We all know that sometimes at hotels or other places or restaurants, they give you a little card for feedback. Well, you should be giving cards and feedback cards to your customers to really understand, what is it that they like, what could you be doing to maybe add some value to your product, either at other times of the year or season, or new product development, or adding some features to the product that you currently have, adding some informational value or content. As a matter of fact, at some point we'll go later on, and perhaps in a later session or tomorrow, we're going to share with you 10 or 15 ways, creative ways to add product value to your product. So let me just let you discuss these 7 steps among yourselves and just ask you if they make sense. Let's take about 2 or 3 minutes, and I would like to ask if everybody at the tables could participate in sharing, and whether if you don't like this approach, if you think it's missing something, please share that. This is an open and creative process, but we want you to just have a quick 3-minute discussion at your tables about whether these 7 steps are relevant to your particular product, or whether it's different, or whether they seem like reasonable steps in marketing. Okay, let's stop there for a minute.